Assalamu alaikum, it's your sister Alexa here. Welcome to the very first episode of Covered Not Censored, where I talk about social and personal issues in the Muslim community. Today, I want to talk about the phenomenon of new Muslims and the different waves of conversion or reversion which have occurred in the past few years. First, I just want to define a few words so that we're all on the same page as we go through this discussion. I will be using the terms convert, revert, and new Muslim interchangeably to describe those of us who were born into non-Muslim families and later embraced Islam. And by waves of conversion, I, of course, mean the statistical event of large amounts of people embracing Islam around the same time, often for similar reasons. Now, even though I am a revert, I feel like I'm observing this phenomenon from the outside because I was not part of a large wave. I was more in the slowly rising tide that continues between waves. But, anyways, let's get into our topic: waves of new Muslims, how they differ from each other, and how we all meet in the middle. Now, the most recent wave, which is still continuing to grow in numbers, mashallah, is the conversion wave created by the horrible genocide in Gaza. These brand new reverts are inspired to learn about Islam because of the amazing resilience of the Palestinian people in the face of occupation and genocide. These activists have open minds, hearts full of compassion, and a willingness to change which lends itself to embracing Islam. This wave of converts are mostly progressive or left-leaning young people who care about human rights and racial equity. But somewhat ironically, the most recent wave of converts previous to that, which took place only about a year ago, were politically right-leaning, even alt-right, mostly young men. They were inspired by the conversions of famous boxer Andrew Tate and viral streamer Sneeko. Both of these men were popular among the followers of Red Pill ideology. The wave of reverts that Tate and Sneeko brought into Islam were, as far as I can tell, brothers seeking meaning and structure in a meaningless society that they feel is taking away men's rights and responsibilities. The contrast between these two waves is interesting because a right-wing wave and a left-wing wave occurred so close together in time. But even more ironically, in previous decades, most reverts were feminist women who looked into Islam because of world events and negative press, only to discover that Islam is just and fair toward women. I find this funny in a way, but also kind of profound. Some people embracing Islam for women's rights or anti-war activism, other people embracing Islam because of men's rights and traditional family values. It's not a contradiction, none of these motives are wrong, and none of us have misunderstood what the true religion has to offer. Islam really has all of these things all at once. And that's because the ultimate truth sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is perfect and transcends flimsy social definitions. In Islam, feminism and red pill are obsolete. They're unnecessary. Allah already gave women and men each our own set of rights and responsibilities. Muslims are told to feed the poor and the orphan. We're told to defend ourselves from oppressors and attackers. We're told to respect our neighbors and our family. So, if your struggle is that women should not be objectified by society, the answer is Islam. If your struggle is that men should not be devalued by society, the answer is Islam. If your struggle is the equality of races and nations, the answer is Islam. If your struggle is the protection of family values, the answer is Islam. Whatever side of society you come from and whatever issue you struggle against, the answer to this culture's sickness is Islam. Islam gives us all these things all at once. And even though many of us reverts come to Islam from different social or political backgrounds, when we embrace Islam, we all meet in the middle. People who used to be progressive and people who used to be alt-right, or people like me who never really chose a side, can find common ground and build communities together in ways they never would have been willing or able to do before. And this is because Islam is the truth from Allah, the perfect system and way of life to optimize individual and social harmony. More importantly than that, though, Islam is the straight path which leads a soul to paradise, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful that He has made this path to heaven accessible and comfortable for all types of people. I'm always so amazed by the grace of Allah when people are guided to embrace Islam, and I keep becoming more and more grateful that Allah guided me to Islam. Alhamdulillah. As new Muslims, we often talk about our religious upbringing and where we came from spiritually, whether that's Christian, atheist, pagan, Jewish, or whatever else. But we don't often talk about how Islam revives not only our souls, but also our minds, giving us a new sense of hope for the world, knowing that there is a way for people to work toward shared values. That way was sent to us by our Creator, and it's found in the Quran and the Sunnah, and it's called Islam. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining the conversation. Assalamu alaikum.